Let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that, look, I'm not the guy that said I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that wouldn't accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying, and I mean, the idea.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Well, I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I have not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all the, actually, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol. I'm not out there making fun of, like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, talking about, joking about it?
Welcome, folks, on this Tuesday. This is your Hill Report news break. This is WD3. As you all can see, President Biden and the Democrats struggling to find their voice and an angle on how to attack Donald Trump in wake of the July 13th attempted assassination attempt. Biden, in an interview with Lester, he's trying to explain some of the words that he used and really distancing himself from that political violence. But other Democrats are trying to find a way to still stay on the attack. Let's see how they go about this.
Border, it's focusing on crime.
The themes of his campaign.
Yeah.
Which that totally makes sense to me, but I do want to push back on what David was saying about essentially saying that this is a problem that came from the Democratic side, and I would hope that we could take a little time off before we get to this. But the rhetoric out of the Republican side, out of Donald Trump himself or Don Jr. about the attack on Paul Pelosi, mocking him, making up a rumor that this was some event, right, and wasn't a terrible attack by someone who was politically motivated and could have taken his life. No. That is the genesis of this. This goes back to 2016.
Well, you can chicken and egg.
A promising figure for the future of the party, Brad.
It seems that because of the turn of events, because of the recent economy, inflation, it seems like this is Donald Trump's political landscape here in America right now. He's had everything go his way, court cases dismissed, dodging bullets. He's definitely taken over the Republican Party. Even a longtime establishment figure like Mitch McConnell was met with nothing but boos.
Madam Chairman, the Commonwealth of Kentucky proudly cast 46 votes for the next president, Donald J. Trump.
Well, right now, a lot of Republicans are in a very celebratory mood. They feel like they really dodged a bullet. They don't have to deal with the anger of losing President Trump former President Trump, and a lot of them just really want to enjoy the festivities and the pomp and circumstance from the Republican National Convention. Let's check out some of the highlights as we get out of here.
One of the big questions coming into the first night of the convention, how much would the assassination attempt on the former president factor into how people were talking, how people were thinking, how people were feeling? There's no question. It has been a central moment for speakers, but also for how some of the highest-ranking Republicans feel about the moment. Take a listen to Governor Henry McMaster from South Carolina.
The people think that was a miracle, but that has energized these people all over the country. His face is the picture of strength in America right now. And these people in this room and all over the country would do anything for that man because we believe in him.
Speech after speech, comment after comment, you've heard it nonstop from Republicans. This is a different moment. It was a unified party before this moment. Now they are all in, and they believe the former president will soon be the future president.